Hello everyone and welcome to Valamore Things. Feel free to follow me to see more of my content. Thank you and I hope you'll enjoy the video. Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're playing something slightly different from the ordinary. The whole point of this deck is try to play something that you haven't ever played. So today we're playing mono green with a little black splash in modern. The whole point of this deck, as I was saying, is to play something hilarious and completely out of the meta and try to win as many games as possible. Let's break down what we're playing today. So it's a mono green ramp deck. We start off with a whole playset of Arboreal Grazer. The ideal start is Arboreal Grazer, like Forest or Yavimaya into Arboreal Grazer, put down Urza Saga, and after that Flare of Cultivation. So through Flare of Cultivation we can sacrifice the Arboreal Grazer or any other non-token green creature, search our library for 2 basic lands, reveal those cards, put one of them into the battlefield and the other into our hand. So we really want to start off strong with Arboreal Grazer into Flare of Cultivation and use the Saga or, Field of Ruin, Demolition Field. Why are we playing so many Field of Ruins, Demolition Fields, and even Ghost Quarter? Because we have Blossoming Tortoise. Blossoming Tortoise is a 4 mana 3/3. Whenever Blossoming Tortoise enters or attacks, mill 3 cards, then return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Activated abilities of lands you control cost 1 less to activate. Land creatures you control get +1/+1. So the whole plan into this deck, we even have Springheart Nantuko, use the Saga toolboxes, Amulet of Vigor because Blossoming Tortoise brings back lands tapped, and even Flare of Cultivation, and even, I think, Titania. No, Titania puts them untapped, but whatever. Maybe, yeah, Lumra puts them tapped, so we have 1 Amulet of Vigor. So the whole point of this deck is to, play multiple times your own land disruption spells, land disruption lands you have, and finish the opponent off with Ghost Quarter, destroying even their basic lands. I know it's gonna be hard to pull this off. Of course, it's gonna be hard. But to help us achieve this, we have Trinisphere. So since we have many ways to have 3 mana on turn 2, like Arboreal Grazer plus another land, since we play 27, it's gonna be very easy. Crimson Zenith to 0, we grab Dryad Arbor and pray opponent doesn't have Fatal Push. We have many ways. So, wrapping this up, the whole point of this deck is locking our opponent through Field of Ruin, Demolition Field, Ghost Quarters, and Trinisphere. How do we win? Saga tokens is probably the most obvious thing. We can even beat down the opponent thanks to Titania's elementals or a gigantic Lumra, or many Springheart Nantuko tokens. We have a few toolboxes even for Greens and Zenith. We have 1 Insidious Fungus. This is a very good card from the House of Horror. You can sacrifice the Fungus to destroy artifacts, enchantments, or even draw a card and put a land into the battlefield tapped. We have Ramunap Excavator, we may play lands from the graveyard, which is very good. We have 1 Endurance because you're almost forced to play at least 1. Titania, Protector of Argoth. I love this art, by the way. You return target land from your graveyard to the battlefield. Whenever a land is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, create a 5/3 token elemental. And Lumra. This is probably my favorite in the deck, alongside the Blossoming Tortoise. This just gives me wild forest vibes, and I love that. What do we have in the sideboard? Well, a few toolboxes, more endurances, Collector Ouphe, Throne, Breaker of Silence. This one is the one I think it's the strongest here. 5 mana, cannot be countered. Trample, which is relevant. Thronebreaker of Silence can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control or abilities from non-green sources your opponents control. And during my turn, Thran is indestructible. After that, we have 4 Culling Ritual, because, you know, Boros is like 30% of the metagame, and I don't really want to die to Boros, but I couldn't think of a single other way to stop Boros from stomping us. Maybe Chalice of the Void, but I think Culling Ritual turn 3, we had like 5 mana, we slam something big, and it's gonna be good. The Mono Swamp to be able to cast Culling Ritual. So we have Flare of Cultivation and 8 other ways to find this swamp. So we should be fine with a single swamp and a Culling Ritual. And Haywire Mite, because it's another Saga toolbox. So that's all for now. Let's jump directly into today's league. I really hope you find this deck interesting. I don't think it's particularly strong, but we'll talk about this while we play through the league. Okay, here we are. Very nice. We have a turn 2 Trinisphere, as I was saying. Really interesting. Maybe I can make my cards a bit larger. Oh gosh, no. Why do I have to face a turn 1 Aether Vial while I have Trinisphere? What are the odds of that happening in Modern? I think it's like less than 1%. Oh my god. Merfolk? Okay. I think we're doomed. I don't think I have any answers to that. And my hand is also not particularly good. I have double Trinisphere and a useless Soul Guide Lantern. So I have to find a way to play Titania. But even so, they only have islands, so I cannot crack anything. And they will surely have Tishana's Tidebinder on Titania. That's guaranteed. Okay. Vodalian Hexcatcher. I'm okay with that. Now, if they hit the third land, and if they have Sveleon or Sveleon or whatever it's called, we are doomed. I need a Saga. Urza Saga is the only thing that can save me. So now I try Titania, and that resolved. I'm happy it did. I'm not attacking because opponent might have Sveleon. Yes, of course they do. I think Merfolk is very underplayed. Every single of these Merfolks are insanely good. So I'm taking the hit because my opponent is gonna draw even if I block, so... Okay, now we have a way to kill the Mutavault, but opponent will surely have... Yes, Tishana's Tidebinder on Titania. I think we're doomed. Yes, of course they have it. So opponent had the perfect sequence of Aether Vial against a Trinisphere, followed up by a Vodalian Hexcatcher, Sveleon, and Tishana's Tidebinder. Double Hexcatcher, okay. Could have been worse, by the way. Yeah, Shadowspear, but I don't think I can win this. I really don't think I can. It's gonna be very, very difficult for me. So, probably blocking Sveleon at this point and taking the damage from Tishana's Tidebinder. I don't play Eternal Wait. Oh, Saga, finally. I should probably play Soul Guide Lantern here. And draw end of turn. Well, so I am attacking here because I really, really want some HP. And they have the second Sveleon. Yes. Of course. I think I'm just dead. Yeah, I'm doomed. I don't have a single way to come out of this. What is the point? Tide Shaper, okay. They killed my Saga and I decided to concede. So that was really unlucky. I mean, the same start here against Boros or Dimir Oculus or whatever, that was probably game, okay? But instead, we faced Merfolk with a turn 1 Ether Vial, because without the Ether Vial, we would have won ages ago. Well, it is what it is. Let's check out the next game. So we will have a look at the sideboard. I keep this 7 because it's very rampy. I mean, we can go something like this. And I decided to flare the Flare of Cultivation now. But that was probably a mistake. I should have waited next turn, play a Springheart Nantuko. And after that, flared to get more tokens, probably. So, by the way, I brought in... I brought out 1 Endurance, 1 Blossoming Tortoise, 1 Saga Lantern, and 2 Field of Ruins. And I brought in 1 Collector Ouphe and the Swamp and all the Culling Ritual, and I'm playing at 61. So here I made a mistake, by the way, and couldn't get a single token because of that. So now I got a token. I crack and we get another token. As you can see, if we play that many lands, it's soonish becoming stupidly flooded. We have so many lands right now. It's just stupid. I didn't want to attack into Vodalian Hexcatcher because I think it's my Springheart Nantuko is more important than their Vodalian Hexcatcher. And of course, every single time they have Sviloon, turn 3, perfect. As you can see, many other lands are coming. I don't really like that. I mean, I have a lot of tokens, but my opponent will draw so many cards out of Sviloon. I don't really think we have a way out. Way too many lands, and I'm already out of Forest in my deck. That's insane. Double Flare. I mean, I actually have so many good cards in the deck, and I wonder why I cannot draw a single one. Maybe I can try a way to smooth things up. And I was even thinking about playing Monvoli Acid Mass. That's 4 mana, you destroy target opponent's land, and you search yourself for a land into your deck. That's probably also interesting. So now we have Titania, and of course they have even the Harbinger, so I couldn't trigger Titania because oh my god. We have so many tokens, but they are just basically useless. Oh, now they have Island Walk. They have Harbinger plus Master of the Pearl Trident. Why don't they just swing me for Holy Can? I don't know. We are doomed, by the way. Even if we had... now I found a way to create a token, but they have consigned to memory, so there was no point because I was dead on the spot. I needed a Culling Ritual. So I play 4 Culling Ritual, they play 4 Sviloon. They found 1, I found 0 through the same amount of cards. So yeah, Magic the Gathering is not every single time a game where you have agency on what is happening. There is so much diversity, and I am playing a super stupid deck against a super off-meta deck. My deck is built to compete against meta decks, so I wonder why I end up facing these decks. This wasn't even a friendly league, this was a proper league, so I don't know. Well, that's disappointing, but I think my deck did many great things that against probably any other deck on the planet would have been great things. So yeah, we were just unlucky. Let's see how the next match will go. Okay, this time we aren't on the play, but we have the turn 1 Grazer into Saga, probably. Opponent is playing a black deck. It's probably that Necro Dominance Sorin combo thing that is very popular lately. Yes, it is, probably. That's a Felmire. Okay, by the way, we have a turn 2 active Saga, which is great in my opinion. And even Lumra. We're not far away from casting that. I mean, yeah, we have... Okay. I should really play one Eternal Witness, by the way. Or a Regrowth or something. So we make the first construct token. I don't like this art. Can I change that? Let me know in the comments. Yep. So I bring up Shadowspear because I don't think my opponent is even doing things with the graveyard. So now they'll probably go Necro Dominance and Soul Spike my things. Yes, that's it. That's it. Necro Dominance. Okay. Okay, my opponent draw a lot of cards, didn't found probably a single Soul Spike and decided to concede. Well, that was an easy win, and that's why I don't really like and never tried Necro Dominance, because you may end up in situations where you're under pressure, you did nothing, absolutely nothing in the turns before, because, yeah, 2 discard spells, but, you know, you don't find Soul Spike and you're dead. And I don't really like that. If you go like Sorin turn 2, Necro Dominance turn 3, Soul Spike, and on turn 4 you have March or whatever, you can do some pretty crazy lifelink and damage with Sorin. It's not bad, but that wasn't the case. So, yep, 1-0. Not bad. Okay, G2. So I think I brought in something to crack the Necro Dominance. So in fact I brought out 1 Field of Ruin, 1 Endurance, and brought in Force of Vigor. Also the Ramunap Excavator went out, but I don't... and the Haywire Mite went in, right? So we start off with a turn 1 Greens and Zenith into Dryad Arbor. And we really want to go Trinisphere turn 2. Okay. Whatever. Springheart Nantuko. So I think Trinisphere is very good against Necro Dominance decks because they cannot Soul Spike the same turn they go Necro Dominance. And okay, opponent here just decided to concede because they had nothing in hand. Necro Dominance, which I killed by removing my Blossoming Tortoise. Rest in peace, Tortoise. Well, that was an easy win. I don't think it was early enough to concede, late enough to concede. It was really too early. I just killed the Necro Dominance. Next turn I could have went Ghost Quarter, Trinisphere, make a token, swing for 1. Yes, Trinisphere has an impact against Necro Dominance decks, but he didn't know about Trinisphere this time, so I don't really know what was the point in conceding so early. Well, we're 1-1 in this league. Let's proceed with the next match. We are on the play. We have to take a mulligan. This hand isn't anywhere nearly good, but I don't really want to go down to 5. So my biggest fear with this deck is Dimir Oculus. So we don't really have a single chance of winning because we don't have a single answer to Psychic Frog, and in general, even if we are able to kill Oculus or Frog with Run Afoul in the sideboard, you see where it is, Run Afoul. Yes, and of course we're facing Dimir Oculus. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't really like that. Psychic Frog. Okay. I already knew about that. That's why I was crying. So here I should have probably went Trinisphere to slow them down a bit and just take one hit from the frog. But the thing is, frog is so good. You can just discard your whole hand and have a big flying monster and draw cards, and it's just insane. I don't know why my opponent didn't attack. I don't know. You can just discard one, give flying. Oh, the thing has reach, right? So we're trying to stun lock them with Field of Ruins. I wanted him to grab a Swamp, so we're out of counterspell and we play Trinisphere. But we don't really have the answer to Psychic Frog, so I don't really know what we're going to do. We need like a gigantic Lumra to be able to win, but we're not gonna draw that. So opponent is now committing into killing my Arboreal Grazer by discarding almost all the cards they have in their hand. And they succeeded, and now I have 2 Psychic Frogs to deal with. I just decided to concede because really it's very hard for us to play against a double frog. I think this card might be a little bit too good. A little bit too good. Just my opinion, huh? It fills the graveyard, and also with Oculus, it's just insane. I mean, you just discard whatever you have, pump the frog, draw a card, cast the Oculus, and that's GG basically. No one has an answer to that. In the Prague tournament, I saw Dimir Oculus not getting as many good results as expected, but that's just compared to Boros at least, but just because it's really harder to play than Boros. So yeah, whatever. Let's see if we can win G2. I doubt so. So we have to take another mulligan. We're not really lucky because we have 8 ways to ramp on turn 1. We couldn't find a single one. So if instead of this Run Afoul we had Zenith or Arboreal Grazer, we could have went Trinisphere turn 2, and that would have been great. So we go Zenith for 1, try to find an Arboreal Grazer, Flare of Cultivation, so next turn we can go Trinisphere. That will be great. So you can see Amulet of Vigor doing stuff here. We're open for Run Afoul, but they don't really have any, I just say, they don't really have any flying creatures that we can kill on next turn because the Psychic Frog isn't really flying if you don't exile things from the graveyard for a purpose. So opponent is now open for counterspell. I don't really like that. Okay, so I think I'm gonna force the opponent into finding a swamp. Probably. Like before, so we are out of counterspell and we resolve the Trinisphere. That's not bad, but they have exactly 6 cards in the graveyard, and you know what that means. You know what that means. Oculus is coming. Why do they always have the Oculus? I mean, okay. So we just Run Afoul the Oculus. As you can see, that's a good card against Dimir for Oculus, but they manifested, so this might be another Oculus of a frog. We pass, and they will have like an Earth or something. Yes, they do. Oh my gosh. And I just decided to consider I don't really even wanted to try and draw another Run Afoul because I only played 2. So in order to beat this deck, especially this deck, we only have one way, which is on the play Forest Grazer into, I don't know, Field of Ruin probably. They do nothing because they don't really have anything on turn 1. Back to us, land, Trinisphere. Back to them, they can do Frog, whatever they want. No, they cannot because they're Trinisphere, right? So they do nothing. Back to us, Urza Saga, Blossoming Tortoise. That's the only sequence that allows us to have a way of winning. Back to them, they can go Psychic Frog. Back to us, they start making Saga tokens, Field of Ruin their lands. You know, things will happen. That's the only sequence. That sequence is almost unbeatable for any deck. Especially for them, because they won't have any interaction after that, after the Trinisphere. But that wasn't the case, and we got completely stomped. So we're down 1-2 in this league. But I think this deck has something more to offer than 1-2 in this league, so stay connected. Okay, here we are for match number 4 against Tron. Oh, yes, I love that. I love that, right? We do love that. I decided not to go Saga because my priority here is to... Oh la la, oh la la, oh la la. I was right. They always have Tron turn 3 if they start with Expedition Map, so we'll start breaking their lands. Oh, it's blue Tron, so they might have Condescend. We tried the Zenith for 0. Here comes the Condescend. Right, okay. It's gonna be tough. Against the blue Tron, it's gonna be tough. Sanctum of Ugin. Okay, I don't think Trinisphere is any good right now. So I'm holding the Blossoming Tortoise for now. I don't really want them to close the Tron. Expedition Map, sure. They grabbed an Eldrazi Temple, so they are half Eldrazi, half Tron. That's very greedy, but they do have islands. Fatnatsir, Karn? Okay, what's this art? That's awful. That's disgusting. They grabbed the liquid metal coating. It's now time for Blossoming Tortoise to shine. We're gonna grab back a Field of Ruin. So... Talisman of Impulse, liquid metal coating on my Saga. Okay. So Eldrazi Temple, we're gonna break another of their land. The Eldrazi Temple is gone. I brought back Amulet of Vigor. So as you can see, I can untap the Demolition Field I just brought back with Blossoming Tortoise. Blossoming Tortoise attacking the Karn, by the way. And we go another Blossoming Tortoise. So finally Tortoise is doing stuff. And I grab back a Ghost Quarter and I kill the Sanctum of Ugin because I don't really want them to be able to cast a 7 mana thing on next turn. And they grabbed an island. Oh, they failed to grab an island, right. Portent of Calamity, this might be scary. Oh, Portent of Calamity. This card is very good, by the way. The art is awesome. And also the card is very interesting. So, for each card type, you may exile a card of that type among them. Put the rest into the graveyard. You may cast a spell from among the exiled cards without paying the mana cost. If you exile 4 more cards this way. This is very interesting. I might splash my deck for blue. And just slam a Portent of Calamity under a Trinisphere or something. And reveal some big mamas. By the way, my opponent revealed Eugene and Eugene's Binding. Eugene. Why couldn't he just play Eugene? And -4 and destroy everything I had? Why did he concede? 4 or more cards this way. Why my opponent refused to play Eugene? I don't understand. Can you tell me about this in the comments? Because he didn't want it to destroy his own things. I mean, bro, you have Eugene at that point. No, one removed cards, so I don't know what happened. I'm just confused. I'm really confused. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what do you think, but I won this game. I don't really know what happened. I'm just confused. I don't know. I'll take the win. I don't really understand what happened there. By the way, I have to take a mulligan. The sideboard. Let's see the sideboard. I brought out Trinispheres and I brought in Collector Ouphe and Haywire Mite and Force of Vigor. So this time my opponent might be able to close up the Tron because I'm slightly behind. I mean, I have Boseiju. I can Boseiju. Yes, I have to Boseiju. Relic of Progenitus, and we're gonna Boseiju the Urza's Mine. Relic is annoying, by the way. Oh, they broke the relic right now? That's not wise from them. Okay, it's back to us. I should probably... Yeah, what? Okay. I don't really care about the Urza's power plant right now. So next turn we go Tortoise. They have a lot of mana even if I break all their lands. So we go Tortoise here. Condescend? Yes, okay. We are not in a good spot right now, but they only have one card in hand. If that's a Portent of Calamity, I'm probably dead. Lorien revealed, okay. That's great. Collector Ouphe, it's also very good. You cannot activate the Shadowspear, but well, who cares at this point? K command, okay. Wow, Fognuts here. I mean, just reading a K command seems insane. I don't know who thought about this card and who thought this was a good idea. Okay, by the way, Saga, we make a construct, we grab the Lavaspur Boots, and we equip our token and we swing with whatever we have. At this point, opponent is under a lot of pressure. They might want to trade. Yes, they accept the trade. And we even draw one. That's another Ouphe, nice. I don't know if I want to play that. So, is the opponent firing another Portent? A Null Drifter, and Sanctum of Eugene activates, and they grab... What? Oh no, they didn't sacrifice the Sanctum of Eugene. Okay. So at this point we make another construct, so the opponent cannot kill my main construct with Null Drifter. I should have probably switched equipments from the main token to the second one and being able to attack with both of them. That would have been wiser. And also cracking my opponent's land could have been a good idea because I know they only pack 4 islands. That's a Portent or a Eugene. A Portent for 6. And my opponent conceded again. And there was a Eugene again. I mean, okay, Eugene cannot kill my construct tokens, but it's still a Eugene. This game is far from over. I mean, Eugene, you kill the Collector Ouphe. Not Drifter, you attack. No, you cannot. You have to block on next turn. Next turn, you trade the Null Drifter on the construct. Okay. While having that big Eugene on the battlefield. And you have 2 cards in hand, and you can do stuff. Let me know in the comments why my opponent conceded the game before, and why my opponent conceded this game. By the way, Portent of Calamity is a very good card, and I will try to brew something with that. 100% sure. Well, 2-2 in this league, not bad. Let's see if we can grab the 3-2 in the next game. Here we are on the play. We have a mulligan, but this time we have Grazer into Saga probably, which is not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Mortuary. Is that Yagomorph or is that the Necrodominance MonoBlack thing? What do you think, guys? By the way, on next turn I can already go Tortoise because I have Yavimaya. I've been so lucky, by the way. The second time this happens in the league. Okay. Profane Tutor, so that's not Yagomorph. That is probably the Necrodominance deck. So we make a token and step. We grab an Amulet of Vigor and we had 1 mana because, oops, I mistapped. Because I want Saga to come untapped right now. So we have the Saga untapped, we can play the Soul Guide Lantern. So as you can see, Amulet of Vigor is very good value under Blossoming Tortoise. I would love to explore more the land creatures you control get +1/+1. By the way, yes, we are against Necrodominance, and this time they find a Soul Spike and kill the Blossoming Tortoise. They find another Soul Spike and fire the construct. This time I go Trinisphere and don't care about the rest. You will see that Trinisphere is gonna hurt them a lot. I mean, this league was so odd. We played like just 1 meta deck and a lot of, you know, tier 4 decks. Even though Necrodominance is very popular lately. Necrodominance is a good card. We grab Lavaspur Boots because we want to swing right now. And I'm gonna take that word 1. By the way, opponent has Fatal Push. Okay. We have another Saga ready, by the way. So I just put the Lavaspur Boots on the Arboreal Grazer because this guy has not Defender I can attack. Not everyone knows about that. Okay, Bow Masters, I mean, sure. I think we can now make another construct and put the Lavaspur Boots on the construct. Playing multiple Sagas is very good, by the way. I know it sounds obvious, but it's also interesting. So I'm not gonna fire the Flare of Cultivation, I think. I'm gonna hold that. Maybe my opponent will waste a discard spell on me. As for now, there's no point in finding lands. Okay, opponent blocked. I still have the Shadowspear, by the way, somewhere in the deck. Okay, opponent now has a lot of lands. They fatal push my construct once more. Okay. No worries. No worries. Everything's fine. They go down to 5. 5 is not a lot. I'll make a construct, grab a Shadowspear and swing for the win, probably. Yes. Probably. Yes, opponent conceded. I don't know why, but This Necro Dominance deck seems to really struggle against my mono green deck, and I don't know why. Well, let's see if we can grab the 3-2 in the next game. Okay, so we have a Trinisphere turn 2 if my opponent doesn't have a discard spell. By the way, Endurance is out, Soul Guide Lantern is out, Field of Ruin is out, and if I recall correctly, I brought in Force of Vigors and Throne Breaker of Silence. That's a huge threat. So I went for the... Oh, and of course they have the discard spell. Now we're left with nothing. Just a bunch of insects. Necro Dominance, that's a little bit too early. They found a Soul Spike. Oh, here comes the second Trinisphere. We are lucky. This time we're lucky. Sorin, okay, that might be a problem. I need a Zenith. Oh! It's not bad. We're gonna grab Tron, I guess. Breaker of Silence. How are you gonna deal with that, opponent? Huh? I don't think you can. This thing is inevitable. And you can only cast one single spell a turn. I mean, you even have a Saga. Wow. Should I cut my opponent from green? Is that a thing? Is there a point in doing so? Ooh, Bow Masters. I mean, sure, you're gonna kill my insect token, right? I don't really care. Can they erase me? They're gonna do 3 damage to me. And gain 1. No, I don't think they can raise me. Not under Necro Dominance. Oh, they want to try, by the way. Okay. I'm fine with that. Break the ice on the Saga. I don't like that. Necro Dominance, they draw 2. Oh, another Trinisphere. Sounds fine. Yep. And we swing. Opponent down to 7. I love Sorin, by the way. It's much cooler than Ajani. Okay. They are trying to race, and we have a Tortoise now grabbing the Saga, probably. Yes. Tortoise is so good, and also the art is so cute. I love that. But this guy here is unbeatable. Mirrodin is one of my favorite planes, alongside Kamigawa. That's when I began to play. Can't wait to go back to Lorwyn, by the way. Okay, so probably I shouldn't have played Blossoming Tortoise, because I should have known about opponent holding a march. So I'm not gonna do that again, and I'm just gonna swing with my Tron, because I don't want to fall into another March of Wretched Sorrow. Okay, they had another Break the Ice on my Saga. Okay, so at this point my opponent might be able to pull it off. Not if they go down to 6. They are greedy, they are so greedy. So I'm gonna hold the Arboreal Grazer now. I don't want him to gain some life to my opponent. Opponent is down to 1. I mean, they have to play like a Soul Spike on me, gain some life. A march on one of their creators? I don't know. Have they thought about it? Okay, they go up to 2. They can Soul Spike and still survive. They can even extort. Yes, here comes the Soul Spike plus the extort. I love Sorin. I want to brew with him. And we go down to 5. Opponent What? Oh, yeah, I mean, because they can block, right? Saga. I'm gonna swing, I don't care. If they want to survive, they have to block. If they have another Soul Spike, I'm dead, by the way. How is that even possible? Probably because I made the mistake of playing Blossoming Tortoise. Otherwise, I would have won ages ago. I was fine, that was just win more. Opponent couldn't beat my Tron. I made a mistake. Oh, and they conceded. They faked the Soul Spike. And they conceded. Okay, well, that's 3-2, guys. Not bad. Not bad. Let's talk about this in the wrap-up, of course. Conclusions. Okay, here we are. So I think that's a pretty solid 3-2 for a meme deck that I just come up with in the last days. So I think this deck has some sort of potential, but it's just not playable in tournaments because you don't really want to encounter Dimir Oculus because you're gonna die. And that's the main issue, because we've seen that against other decks, with a bit more luck, we would have been able to hold our ground, especially against Merfolk. So I played a lot of matches with this deck, and we beat Boros, we beat Eldrazi, we beat Timor Breach. That was hard, by the way. They were friendly matches. And when I beat this deck, I thought, that's not bad. That's not bad, really. We can make a league out of this. And I played a league, and I only encountered meme decks and one Dimir Oculus that completely destroyed my ass. So, yeah, I think this archetype is very funny. It's very different from whatever people are playing right now. I don't think it's somehow competitive for real. This can compete because we have some insane sequences, especially on the play. Like Arboreal Grazer into Flare of Cultivation into Tortoise on turn 2. It's like insane, especially if you have Saga. That's just insane. Grazer into a land. Sorry, phone. Okay, I had a phone call from my garage. My car is ready. Sorry, I don't remember what I was saying. By the way, I remember that I was saying that I was playing many games with this deck, and I won many games. I lost many games. Let's say 50% win rate, around that. Even against tire decks. So if you want to try something different and you want to have fun for a league or two, or you have the cards and you want to bring this deck to a paper tournament and try and see what happens, do that, because it's very, very fun. In a game that wasn't a league, I had a Lumra reanimating under Amulet of Vigor, like 3 Field of Ruins, 1 Quarter, 1 Saga, and that was just insane. Lumra was like a 12-12 or something like that. It was so big. And I equipped it with Lavaspur Boots and Shadowspear and Swank for lethal in 1 turn. That was just insane. In other games I had Springheart Nantuko bestowed on Blossoming Tortoise. I attack with Blossoming Tortoise, reanimate a land, double trigger because I have... Oh my gosh. I copied the Blossoming Tortoise, double trigger because I copied the Blossoming Tortoise. So many hilarious moments, and that was great. So I would ask you for one advice about this deck, and it's: what can I main or sideboard green colors that will allow me to compete against that goddamn frog? I know I have this swamp in the sideboard, but Abrupt Decay is not really an option because I cannot find the swamp as soon as turn 2. So it's a bit of a waste. And all that slots just for the Psychic Frog and the Oculus, it's really not optimal. So if you have any advice on how to beat Psychic Frog with this deck, please let me know. And I don't want to hear something like, yeah, you can put out these 60 cards and put in like Boros Energy and you will be able to beat them. No, that's not what I want to hear. Any serious advice, because maybe I'm missing in my card, I'm missing some pieces and there's an obvious choice that I cannot see. Well, let me know in the comments. If you liked this video, please let me know. And also please answer to me why that Tron opponent conceded. And remember to subscribe down here if you like my videos. And thank you for watching as usual. Let's meet together again in the next video very soon.